Hey guys, Jennuine Love checking in. I just did a Facebook Live with all of the women who I collaborated with on the book that I just published. And it was so inspiring, the whole process of being with women who are out to make a difference in the world and collaborating with them to write this book has been so rewarding and healing for me in a lot of ways. And what I'm really present to, that I'm taking away from this experience, is a deep inner knowing of how important it is that we share our stories. Now, you don't have to write a book. Everybody doesn't need to write a book if that's not what they want to do. And also, there are still multiple ways that you can share your story, And sometimes I think that we feel like what we have to say doesn't matter, or somebody's already talked about it, or we don't want to talk about it, which was my case. The stuff that I shared in my chapter of this book, guys, this is the stuff that I never wanted to talk about. I wanted to pretend didn't exist. I wanted to just, forget that part. I could have went the rest of my life and never talked about those stories. And also, unfortunately, I know that there are people who will resonate with my share and with what I shared, my story. And that is the goal of really this vibration of humanity, where we're headed. Whether we have realized it or not, we are being called back to love, and there's no other way. The connection cannot happen any other way. The elevation cannot happen any other way. And what happens when we share our stories, people get to see themselves in us in a way that feels less threatening. Because when we look at our own life and our own stories, sometimes we're just like, we're so attached. We have so much emotion and feeling around it because it's our story. And yet when we can sit in the presence of another who is being so brave and so vulnerable and so courageous to share their stories with us, guess what? We get to see ourselves in their share. And it's like a quick road to a new expanded version of and perception of yourself, because you didn't have all of this stuff involved. You just listened to a story, and like that, you felt transformation. It is the way that we connect with people. Hey, Katie, it's the way that we connect with people is through storytelling, and I want us to just be real careful that we don't shy away from telling our story because we think it's low vibe. This is what I did. Not only was I ashamed and embarrassed of my story, I was like, well, that's low vibe. Low vibe. I didn't want to talk about these kind of things. And guess what? The act of ignoring that and pretending that it didn't exist was actually the lowest vibe that I can embrace. But in sharing something, now we're not dwelling on it. We're not being like, oh, woe is me. That's not what we're doing at all. What we're doing is just acknowledging what it means to be a human. And what it means to be a human means that sometimes you feel things that aren't the best. And also it means that feelings pass, and we don't have to run our life by how we feel. We get to just continually show up and share and be of service to humanity. Do you think that I wanted to write about? There's 3 specific things that I talk about in my chapter. Didn't want to share. Had cold feet, almost backed out of the whole thing. Was like, bump this. I'm not doing this. And do you know what I know about me? And do you know what I suspect about you? Is that what we're here to do is more important than how we feel and how we think we look. What we're here to do is to share and to impact and to inspire. That's what's needed on the planet. Highlight reels are amazing. I just shared one with the publishing of my book. That feels like a highlight reel. And also the behind the scenes story. When I tell you the behind the scenes story, because it's not quite ready to tell yet, oh, it's a big one. So know that there's always stories in progress. There's always things unfolding in your life, and the power of you sharing your story impacts me. That's how important you are. That's how important your journey is. And I submit to you that the thing that you're afraid to share, like I shared, was afraid to tell my story, the thing that you're embarrassed about, the thing that you think, oh, I don't want people to know that, that's the thing. That's the thing that we need to hear, because you know what? It sets us all free. It sets you free. It sets me free. It sets all of us free. We get to see ourselves in humanity. Look, the crystals are jumping. Did you see that? They like that. That's how we are free. That's how we get to experience humanity and closeness with each other. Sharing your story is not going to take you back there. That's another thing I was worried about. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to share that because I don't want to end up back there. And oh, if I give energy to it, there's a really big missing piece that we need to talk about. And a side note, intentions. What are the intentions of sharing your story? If your intention is, woe is me, well then yeah, you might end up back there. However, if your intention of sharing your story is to show people, this is where I was, this is what I did, this is where I am now. If you're progressing and sharing in a way that is going to set people free and let them experience transformation for themselves, that's a great share. That's a really great share. And so what is it in your life that you've just been unwilling to share? Just unwilling. Because you know that when you share, it will impact people. But you've been unwilling. And so here this video is. I'm showing up today, reminding you, just share. There's no rule book. There's nobody grading your share. There's none of that. It's just you sharing. And we get to receive the gift that is you. We get to receive your soul lessons. My whole chapter is about self-love and acceptance. And do you think that I've mastered that? Nope. Do you know what I'm here to learn, master, and teach? Is the importance of self-love and acceptance. And do you know what I have to deal with every single day? The choice to practice self-love and acceptance. That's what I get to experience. There's no, okay, I'm the guru, I've made it. I'm sharing the very things that I'm learning and experiencing myself. So we're in this together. We think that other people's stories are so much different. No, we all have stories that are impactful. That people somewhere, everybody in your people, that's a whole nother video, and that's okay. Everybody in your person, everybody isn't going to resonate with your story, and that's okay. It was never designed. It was never supposed to be that way. But the people who are connected to you, they're waiting to hear your story. They're waiting to hear you tell it. They're waiting to hear your voice. And that's how you find the community. That's how you find the tribe. That's how you find the soul-aligned family that you seek, is by sharing your story. So, whatever it is for you. And I have more stories to tell. And I did the interview earlier, and that was one of the questions they asked. Why did you pick this one out of all the things that I could have talked about? And I said, you know what? I didn't pick this one. I did not want to talk about this one. I wanted to share something else. This one came and got me, woke me up, challenged me, was in my face, like, how are you practicing self-love, boo, if you are afraid to talk about these things? Knowing that me sharing is impacting people. Hey, Renita, it is impacting people. So I get to pick. Do I want to have an impact, or do I want to do what I think makes me look good? And I chose to have the impact. Barely. I was about to back out. But I chose to have the impact, and I'm asking you to choose to have the impact too, by sharing, by showing up. You don't have to write a book. Don't make it big and hard. Find a platform, share. Find a person, share. Find a journal, share. Your story matters, and it impacts all of us. So, I'm going to send y'all, hey Mark, hey Katie, hey Renita, I see y'all watching. I'm sending y'all so much love, and there are so much behind the scenes things happening in my world that I just am just like want to share so bad, and the story is still unfolding, and it's powerful. And I invite you to just begin to show up. Forget about all of the things that you think that you have to look like or have to be or whatever. And just be yourself. And really know, like really freaking know, that's enough. That's the key. It's not just enough. That's it. That's everything. That's everything. I'm sending y'all so much love. I'm going to be looking for you. I'm going to be listening for you. Okay? We're ready. And you are ready. You are ready. If not now, when? Don't answer that. Now. Now is the time. All right. I'm sending y'all so much love. See you soon. Bye.